remember, when you're selling houses and this type of thing, and Colorado real estate law says you cannot take and
Give
the
them
contract.
commissions.
You cannot do an installment sales contract. It didn't say you can't structure one. Always have an attorney prepare it, and you can use them all day long. Okay? They can do a installment sales contract for you. They can do a seller carry second or a seller carry first or whatever you want to do. But everybody gets confused. I mean, I've talked to people who say, oh, we're not allowed by law to take and do seller carry. I said, oh, you are not allowed by law to set
Write the
interest rates.
contract.
You cannot write the contract. That's a separate entity. But you can create a huge amount of paper by doing this type of thing.
Yeah.
And
create home buyers. There are people who couldn't buy a home before, now they can.
as long as your lender will allow a combined loan to value of a certain amount. In other words, you don't want to go out there, they're getting a new loan, and they're getting a 80% loan, but the lender won't do more than an 85% combined loan to value. You can only do 5.
Gotcha.
Okay, but so they don't have to come up with 20, but now they also don't have to pay PMI on their first, but you'll almost make the payment on that 5% second.
But then you wrote for your 70%, that's.
Well, but I'm talking about the seller carries. That's seller carry financing.
Okay.
What were you saying about as a broker you can't?
You're not allowed by law to take and sell a house to, representing the seller or the buyer, either one, and dictate what the seller carry will be. That's a negotiated term.
Oh.
You can, in other words, you can't go in, you can't prepare that document or anything else, but you can tell them about the document. You can get it set in place by an attorney, and they can dictate it.
So you're saying if I'm gonna sell a property that's my own
You
on
can.
seller financing,
Yeah, that's it.
broker, I can't tell them what the interest rate's gonna be?
You can't say, you can say, here's some suggested ways it can be structured, but an attorney's gonna prepare all the documents. Now, 2 things, reason for that is because one is the Dodd-Frank law says that you cannot sell or finance more than 3 properties in a, hey, what are you doing over here? Where's your open house? He thought we were having an open house. He's here. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So when you do that, you're violating the Dodd-Frank law. But if an attorney, but there's places out there you can get them, it's just a matter of calculating what the residual income is from these people, no different than what a lender does, and they have to certify it. So you pay for that service, and you can do it all day long. You can do 50 of them a year if you want to. Okay. But those are just things that scare, oh, I'm afraid of it. See, we all crawled out of the swamp with a little tiny brain. I call it the crocodile brain, okay? And when we crawled out, our first impulse, whatever we saw some west, we said, oh my God, I'm afraid of it, I'm gonna kill it, I'm gonna eat it. Okay, whatever we saw, we either had a fear, or we're gonna make friends with it. Okay? But you have to get past that part of the brain to get into the analytical part that figures out how to solve the problems. So that's why you need to figure out how to, okay, Dodd-Frank, I'm afraid it's gonna kill me, it's gonna eat me. Okay, so I've gotta kill it. No, you just have to learn within the framework of how to do it. And there's ways out there, there's cottage industries that get created to solve those kind of problems. So you get a bank that will take and underwrite it for you. And then you get to make the decision. You're the one that finally approves it because you're the seller. It's your note. But as long as they have enough residual income, it might be a 55% debt coverage. I mean, their cost is in that deal. So, anyway, that's just one of those things to do. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to throw these things out here because we're not learning a lot of calculator stuff, but it all pertains to the calculator. Okay. Let's say I have a little old townhouse out here that's a piece of crap, but I've got a seller. I'm going to say I'm a broker, and I've got a seller that wants $100,000 for it. Okay. Well, if he puts it on the market and he has it out there, he's probably going to have to. He's going to pay 6% in a commission for sure. He's going to have 2% probably in closing costs and another 2% and, oh, by the way, the outlet's upside down in inspections, okay? So for sake of argument, let's say he's netting 90%. He gets $90,000 walking away on a good day. What if I could sell that to him and give him $92,000 and I could do it in 3 weeks? Do you think he'd take it?
Probably.
Yeah. So as a broker, I can say, here's what we're going to do. You're going to have to do seller financing. I don't want to do crocodile brain took over. I'm afraid of seller financing, I don't wanna do it. So, well, we're gonna structure it, and we're gonna simultaneously or very quickly sell that note for you. This is your retirement. We're gonna make a $70,000 first mortgage, and we're gonna charge 6.99% for 30 years, no balloons. Dodd-Frank says you can't have a balloon, okay? So that's just a rule. You have 5 years that you have to fix that interest rate for the first 5 years. It can't be a floater during the first 5. You can set terms after that, but just say 6.99 on the 65,000 on this thing. That's a 65% loan to purchase price. I think the guy would probably feel fairly safe in buying that note. If you calculate that out, you can say, okay, now, do I know somebody that's got an IRA that has that much money in it, that wants to take and invest something that gets better than the bank, more steady than a money market, or more fixed, I can predict it all the way down for 30 years, okay? I'm 40 years old, I'm not gonna draw on that thing until I'm 70 years old. Now, how much money did he pack into that? Do the math on it, it's fun. Now, the second mortgage is going to be for $35,000, okay? The $35,000 is gonna be a 30-year mortgage, 7.99, no loans, just like the first, but just a point higher. Now I say, okay, I'm looking for a buyer that can't qualify for a loan. He's a good, solid tradesman, but he doesn't have the bandwidth, consistent income that they fit the round peg in the square hole under underwriting, clean credit, and he knows how to fix things. He's a tradesman. Say, look, for a $10,000 finance premium, you can take this over, the note's already in place. We close it in a week, okay, or 2 weeks. He's happy. Yeah, he has 10 grand, but he couldn't get a 90% loan, say he sold from Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. He's got inconsistent income, he makes good income, he just has inconsistent income, and a good chance he doesn't report all of his money to Uncle Sammy, okay? So he's never gonna qualify for a loan, he wants to own a house. He puts together 10 grand, he comes in, and you do the little underwriting deal for him, get the residual income deal, get the appraisal. Now, so out of the 35,000, I mean, the 25,000 that this seller wants to have, because he's only gonna get 92 at the max, right? So the difference between 92 and 65 is 28. He's now still short, but I'm gonna take 10 of that and come back in. The down payment is now going to go to the seller. And I'm gonna buy the second mortgage in my wife's IRA for the difference.
Yeah.
She's going to make a huge amount, because now, instead of that being $28,010, she's paying $18,000 for a $30,000 mortgage. Make sense?